Okay, let's see if that helped anything. Here we go. Okay, we have 2 broadcasts. Yeah, I think we got it. We should be up on both of the horizontal and the vertical streams now. Thank you for pointing that out, Helmet. I appreciate it. If you're here to hear me say that. I'll do that. Why are you showing the frickin' thing? There you go. And what is this? Oh my gosh, it shows my... Zoop. There we go. Yep, we just restarted everything, so hopefully we are back in action. Back in action, not needing no traction. Because the attraction is enough, I guess? That... Although I kind of want... I wish I had my camera, like, looking more at me so that I don't have to... I have to lean over just to be in the center of the frame. Probably do... something like... this, I guess? No, because that's the opposite direction. Probably do something like... this? I don't know how I'm gonna make this work. Because I have to keep it plugged in. I got my... still use my mouse and stuff. Okay, don't complicate things more for me, headphones. Sorry, enjoy this little behind-the-scenes technical difficulty moment. Jesus. Thank you, Skippy. I appreciate it. I do make an effort. I make an effort to try. And isn't that all we can ask of our content creators? You know? To make an effort to try. At least try to try. You know? And if you try to try, then you are the most in the kingdom of God. I think that's what Jesus said, right? But I'm not going to be looking into the camera now. See, now we have our other issue, is that I need to actually be looking into the camera, or somewhat into the camera, you know? I got to give you guys the impression that I care. Right? I mean, this actually doesn't look bad. If I just take the green screen down, it actually looks like it's kind of meant to be like a studio. I don't know. This was honestly, I think the place I had it was honestly the best place for it. Just logistically. If I'm being honest. If I'm being honest. Yeah. I think that's just going to have to be how it is, you know? I'm just always going to have to kind of be looking at the camera. You'll always have a little bit of a cold, dead-eyed stare. But I think that's okay. I don't think we need to be too concerned about, you know, people being dead behind the eyes. I think that's, I think it's a fair state of being, is it not? Israel is more evil. Strange, that was not one of the options. Where is it? Where did it go? Where did you go? Come back to me, boo. I guess I can just... We'll just crop it, I guess. I hate doing that. Because there's a reason why I'm at 1280p. Or 1080p. But you know what? Budget. Fine then, the right. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I don't think that it's crazy to say that Israel's more evil. It's just, you know, you got it. We can pair that with an ideology, right? That we know is objectively evil, which is, you know, pretty much whatever the right is espousing, tends to espouse. You can do this, and then I can just yep, and then I can increase. Shabam! I'll do that. There you go. So now you get to see Saint Anthony of Bourdain and the wizard. Here we go. As a millennial, the fire left long ago? What fire? Talking about American fire? The conservative fire? Which fire are we talking about here? The passion for politics? Perhaps? I think a lot of people agree that that's pretty gone from the everyday average discourse. All right. Let me finish adding the information for this stream, and then I can we can get to it. Oh, the fire of the desire to live. Yeah, I feel you there. I feel you there. Oh, I'm trying to... There we go. And... boom. There we go. All right. Green screen taken care of. I think the worst design flaw with Jurassic Park was the use of spinning arrows on the road signs. Leonard B. What's up? B. Get a good day. Leonard. I don't think I'm good at G speak. You add a G to each syllable, but I don't think I'm very good at that. Maybe one day, you know. What was I doing? I was taking the information from my other stream and I was putting it into the information of my new stream. You guys, you keep distracting me here. You keep distracting me. I gotta add a thumbnail to it. Oh my god, you guys! I'm letting my side down here. Gotta put a thumbnail on this, and it's gonna be the dad goose. Standing in the living room, staring at you somewhat disapprovingly. As dads are wont to do. And I am nothing if not very dad. Come on, save them changes. Alright. What's your favorite game? I mean, I don't really have a favorite game right now. I am mostly stuck in the, you know, needing something to play consistently. But, I don't know. I'd say Battlefield's probably the thing that I play the most consistently right now. But, anything sort of like milsim or milsim adjacent, anything that involves fun, like RP scenarios, you know, it's the normal stuff that people like, I'd say. So, I think it's pretty safe to say that, you know, the title is a bit of some clickbait, but it's also very important. It's also a very important question, you know, which is more evil? I think it's easy to see that, you know, the right and Christianity and fundamentalists and fascists and all this kind of stuff could be seen as more evil, but you know, you never know. Maybe I'm wrong. You know? I guess that's going to be up to someone from their side to convince me, but it does seem pretty monstrous, you know, to try to legislate people out of existence and try to invade other countries and take their resources. But who am I? Who am I? You know? That's for God to figure out. You know? That's God's job. All right? And I think we should just let him do it. You know? Just let God do that. I don't know. Hell Let Loose. Now that is one that I've wanted to play, but have not had a chance. I always seem to be out of money when it's going on sale or when it's, you know, being popular. Oh, they sold it to who? To what, like, is it going to be worse now or what? I assume that's a bad thing. So today we're going to look at a channel belonging to a conservative content creator, and we're just going to take a look. We're going to let it speak for itself, and you know, we're just going to let it be. We're going to let him cook, I guess, is the modern phrasing that people like to use. All right. But before we do that, I am going to introduce myself because I haven't been doing that. I don't get it. I don't get why I'm not doing that. Just so you guys know, hi, I'm Goose. I'm not Silly Goose, or I'm not an Hungarian Goose. I'm just Goose. You can just refer to me as Goose. Maybe I should just change my username to just call me Goose, because you just gotta call me Goose. I tend to have a little bit of fun on stream. Sometimes we do a little bit of political and religious stuff. That's actually the majority of stuff lately. I'm trying to build a community, and I'm trying to get subbies, so really the best way that I've seen yet to do that is to do religious and political content, because it's stuff that people just like to either love or hate to talk about, and you know, makes for good content. But you know, if you help me grow the community, you random user, if you help me build the community, if you stick around and increase my watch time, if you sub, if you like the videos, all that kind of stuff, and if you go and watch previous stuff, that helps. That all helps. And, you know, the bigger I grow, the more diverse content I can make. So, you know, Rio, R-I-O. You're going to have to, Skippy, you might have to elaborate on that. I don't know what R-I-O means. So again, we're going to take a look at a conservative content creator, and we're going to just take a look. Apparently, as an atheist, I don't know what evil means. Okay, so, you know, you religious people, you're going to have to define evil for me, and then we're going to have to apply that scope to these videos, and we're going to see. We're just going to see. We're just going to see if perhaps what they're saying or doing might be evil. We don't know. I don't know. Because, you know, atheists, we don't have a moral framework, right? So, I'm not feeding you yet. You've eaten already. We woke up late today, which is why the stream was late today, and she's bugging me now for food. I don't approve of that. We sprung forward this week, and therefore your food is destined to be late. I don't know. I was trying to make that into a logical argument against why I shouldn't feed my dog early, but I don't think I did a good job. I kind of have to commit to it, though. I mean, we made the statement. We started to make the statement. So I'm locked in. Anyway, I gotta upload. I gotta put the information into my socials, so we can get people from, you know, Twitter and Threads and whatnot. You know, you never know. It might not happen, but I think maybe 0.9% of my viewership comes from Twitter and Threads feeds. But that's something, right? It's not nothing. But I have to put the actual, I have to put the Twitch in there. So I can siphon all that beautiful, beautiful ad revenue, those 2 cents that I get every month from ad revenue. That's, maybe there's not even any reason to do that. You know? Someday maybe. Alright, well, let's take a look at this guy. While we do that, you sit in the back and work the radar and the sensors. So I'm like the guy in the chair. Cool. I'm just gonna, she's annoying the fuck out of me. I'm just, because she does like these, you can see, I don't know if you can see her dancing. She does that. And she just like slaps the back of my chair. Like, and I mean like. So I'll feed her, I'll be right back. She will just not leave me alone if I don't feed her right when she's ready for it. So she will just straight up keep bugging me. Keep bugging me. Entire time. So like if I stream for 5 hours, she will bug me for 5 hours. And I don't want that. You know? I don't think a lot of people want that. Don't bite your nails, kids. It's a bad habit to get into. I am just now... For real? I am just now starting to stop bite my nails. And they are just now starting to grow back. After 40 years? That's too long, man. That's too long. Christians versus... What is it? The lefty woke atheists. You know, I love putting woke in like all caps because it's like, you know, you want people to think that, or people are like yelling about it, you know, and you want that, you know, you want the yelling because the more angry people are, then the better content that is, right? More people yelling about trans people. They don't realize, I think people mostly don't realize when they do that people are going to laugh at them later on the internet. Like it's not happening like right when it happens, you know, but I mean like they're going to laugh at them later. What? No, that's the wrong one. It's not the right, that's not the right browser. I'm supposed to be looking at the right one. There we go. Jiblop. So if you haven't heard of this guy, he is claiming to be really moral or model, a model minority reporter. Sorry, I was going to make a joke about. I thought his name was Moral Minority Reporter. I don't think that works anymore. So I'm just not gonna go there. I'm not gonna work it. Not gonna work that joke because it's not a joke anymore. Now we're talking real. Now we're being really real. We're being so real. Right? So let's take a look at his latest reel, I guess. Let me see. I'll adjust it. I'll crop it to...
Hey, what's up, guys? So this is going to be my third video for the day, basically working overtime for you guys. So something that you may notice with a lot of these right-wing grifters, and we'll talk about the quartering in a bit too. I don't know if you know who the quartering is, but holy fuck, what a train wreck of a human being. Like, oh yeah, no, Helmet, my dog eats at 5 o'clock in the morning too, and then they eat, so it's supposed to eat 6 to 8 hours later. For some reason, she's just been getting like super hungry lately. I don't know. I don't get it. Why are you so fuzzy, my dude? It says auto, but it's in 140p. Why am I having those burps? Isn't that I'm not taking my medication anymore. Like, so I don't have like I burp all the time on my medication. I'm not taking that anymore. I don't get it. All I ate today was a Kirkland nut bar. Which are, by the way, really good. It's like if you eat Kind bars, which you should have something in the morning. You should have some kind of like nutritional something in the morning just to get your day started. And I am a big fan of just a handful of nuts. That's right, you heard it here. I like to get my mouth around a big handful of nuts every morning so I can get my fill. So I can just be filled up, just filled with all that nut goodness, you know? What? Don't know about evil, but USA citizens are super stupid, expensive healthcare taxes, but won't raise voice against Trump for wars. Iran is taking a good class of them. I mean, I couldn't understand a lot of that, but I think what you're trying to say is that you're not sure which is more evil. It would be the right. Or it would be the conservatives, or the Christians. Sorry, they all kind of overlap. But USA citizens are super stupid. I won't argue with that. Expensive healthcare. I don't know why that's a knock against us. And taxes, I guess you're associating the two, or high expensive healthcare taxes, but won't raise voice against Trump. Do you not know how many people have been asking for the release of the Epstein files and for the people who are named in them to be prosecuted? It's like half the country. It's like a good 3/4 of the country, conservatives alike. So I don't know where you think that's coming from. I mean, I would say most establishment Republicans tend to disagree with him invading Iran. Iran is taking a good class of them. I think what you mean is that they're teaching them a lesson. Okay. You can both approve and disapprove of many different things, but why are you doing this? She pulls her bed off of the thing. Stop doing that. I can't go very far because my preamp doesn't go very far. There, that's the distance that I get, okay? I can't discipline, I can't scold you, I can't shake my finger at her anymore because I'm leashed. I'm certainly not giving you any more food. Maybe she wants to go outside. Yeah, and Jeremy's who we're talking about. The guy who bots all his viewers. I'm not letting you outside. I'm busy. I'm busy doing stuff. Kids, man. Yeah, but he initiated a war without approval of Congress. Trump is just working for his master, Israel. Right. I didn't misunderstand any of that. I know. I don't approve of unilateral wars. I don't approve of any new wars. I don't approve of most genocides. If you think that I'm in favor of any of that, then you're barking up the wrong tree, my friend. For reals. All right, so let's listen to this guy.
If you want to show some...
He looks like the Asian version of me. If you didn't notice. Look, we're... Hang on, I'm trying to make his facial expression. We look a lot alike. It's just a slight smile. It's just... I can't do that. And then his eyebrows are like... There we go. That looks good, right? So, I saw this guy on somebody else's video about right-wing conservatives, and, I figured why not? Why not take a look?
Appreciation. Smash that like button, or if you make it to the end of this video...
The point I was going to make, that I then got lost on a tangent over, was that it's probably not the best idea to openly advertise that you make, like, that you're essentially a video production mill. I mean, that's pretty propagandistic, or like, that's like, we got a lot of new papers coming off the presses, hot off the presses. All this news that you probably need to know. It's just flooding you with propaganda, right? Like, I mean, the left knows it's propaganda, I assume. You know? I don't know why you'd come in here just to spam that, but okay. Are you Christian? No. I am an atheist. Aren't leftists mostly people who left their hometowns for better education opportunities? That certainly sounds like a slice of their demographic, but I mean, leftists are from all different walks of life. From what I understand. I don't think it's a very, I don't think being on the left side of the aisle is necessarily a binding set of circumstances that you engage in. I think it's more just a standardized set of what? Ideologies or what? I don't know. Values that people hold? What happened? Something happened. I think that one of the cords pulled or something. Most large population centers are left-leaning, right? Well, I mean, yeah, that speaks to kind of a good No sim available. What the fudge? That speaks to kind of a good reason why... What the hell? Like, my phone just, like, deactivated its phone thing. Weird. I feel like this is the same person that, like, tried to spam before and just made all these different accounts. Pretty weird. Why are left-wing more evil? Nobody's saying that. Who's saying that? Wouldn't say either group are inherently evil. Definitely assholes in both demographics. Same can be said about any two groups, though, I guess. Right. That is the secret to the special sauce of the live stream. That's the hidden recipe. You know? We're not ascribing a meaning, you know? We're simply interpreting. We're interpreting what people say and do, and we're seeing if that is itself evil. I mean, the 7 poorest states are red, and yet those people think conservative legislation works well. Well, civic policy has never been the strong suit of the conservative side of the aisle. Conservatives, I mean, at their core, right, they want to conserve a certain way of living. And if you are in opposition to that, then you are antithetical to their very way of life, right? So, I mean, that's the crux of a lot of their issues, is that they have fundamental inabilities to mesh with the other side of the aisle, because we're constantly trying to move the needle forward into progression. And the very definition of being conservative means that you don't want that, and you fight against it. So it's like, I mean, how exactly are you going to move forward while it's a God thing? it's the same way that God operates. He pushes you away with one hand and then folds you in with the other. You know? What have the baby boomers conserved? Racism. The wage discrepancy between men and women, glass ceiling, if you will. They've conserved a bit. They've held on to quite a lot. You know, maybe that can change at some point, which would be progression. I mean, I'm just saying, you know, I feel like that would be called progress if we were to look at it in that way. So, you know, seemingly a natural progression, if you will, of events/circumstances. New to the stream, what's your argument? Or is this like an open discussion you respond to? My titles tend to be clickbait. Let's just you know, let's just be honest and transparent. The titles are typically clickbait. I do mean it. I do mean, like, can we determine which is more evil? But it would be ridiculous to try and boil down a conversation to which side is more evil, the left or Christians. Because I think, here's the clickbait part of it. Christians overlap with a lot of different hateful ideologies. And so the reason for me mentioning Christians is because it's a huge umbrella term under which both good and people fall. The same thing with any other ideology. Christians is usually just all it takes to get angry Christians in here. Just saying, which is more evil, Christians or anything else, tends to be what draws in the angry Christians. And the angry Christians are usually the majority of my viewer base. Like this guy who keeps trying to create different accounts just to spam in the chat. Those are your people. You know, those, if you're MAGA, those are your people, right? Yeah. Which is more evil? Question mark. Sorry, I'm putting a poll up. Christianity or the left? So let's see. Let's see what you guys think. You know, get your friends in here. See how many people we can get to weigh in on this thing. I need the viewership, so ain't gonna complain about it. Have you ever noticed how fundamentalist Christians do not follow any of Jesus's teachings? Yeah, I have noticed that. I have indeed. Connor Webb, the mod. If you're a mod of anything, I feel bad for the forums you claim to moderate. This person just keeps making alternate accounts and then saying like inane stuff. It's not even good stuff. Maybe they're afraid of like their actual overall account, their Google account getting banned if they say actual Nazi shit, but that's my guess, is that it was the guy that was in here the other day just spamming Nazi stuff.
Consider subscribing, because I noticed that about 80% of you consuming my content aren't even subscribed.
I'm guessing it's because about, 100% of that 80% probably hate watches you. That's my guess, I mean, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it was a Russian bot or whatever, but I mean, people, they just get mad and want to actually troll just by sheer nature of being angry about something and hateful. So, I mean, it's not outside of the realm of possibility that perhaps they're dealing with some, deep-seated trauma, but that's usually not the case. So, See, they're even trying to get around, like, auto spam. Isn't that weird? But he's not disrupting anything. He's not... I just click a button and he's gone. So... Oh. And you have wasted time on him. Well, no, I haven't. Again, I click a button. It's not exactly wasting time. Plus, silencing a shitty voice? One could argue that that's a good form of censorship.
That said, this next story I'm about to show you, I found on X, and I'm going to
That
source
said,
it from Houston Times. So there's an article, and it reads, an Indian origin man has deleted his social media profiles after a video of him dancing at the World War II Memorial in Washington, D.C. sparked widespread outrage. The reel, filmed at the site dedicated to millions of fallen soldiers, drew such fierce backlash that the individual has since deactivated both his LinkedIn and Instagram accounts. It also
no.
a video shared by TikTok
You don't want to
user
lose your
Maru
LinkedIn.
Raju, who used the same name for his Instagram profile.
That's
The
your
video shows him
that's
in a
your link to the modern world is
No
LinkedIn.
Rush challenge in front of the memorial.
Oh shit, I said link. Maybe that's what it is. Oh god. I'm from the UK, so our politics are totally different worlds. I'm right-wing and one of my best friends is a socialist. Seems like you are totally divided. You see right and left-wing friends in the US? Yeah? Not like, I mean, we have plenty of people who get along who don't discuss politics. I know that there's a dude that I used to work with who's totally MAGA, and I didn't judge him based solely on his political beliefs. And if he ever said it, he actually did try to mention something more, or that was like transphobic. And I forget what it was. What was it? He said something like, he's like, I just can't stand trans people. And I was like, what? Why? What happened? And they were talking about how a person at their work, who just happens to be trans, was like taking all the hours that they were being offered for overtime. And I was like, okay, so you're upset that they took hours that were available to everybody else? And he was like, well, yeah, I mean, they got to them before anybody else could. And I was like, so they were faster than you? And they got an opportunity before you did, so therefore trans people bad? And he was like, well, they're always doing this. They're always playing the victim. They're always doing like... And he kept like dead gendering them just interchangeably with respecting their gender pronouns. He was like, he, she, they, whatever. And then he would continuously say he when he was talking about... It's a trans woman. And, like... I don't know. I was like, could it be possibly that this has nothing to do with them actually just being trans, and that you could just be upset at a coworker because they did a shitty thing? Like, would it be more fair to say that you don't necessarily are at a state where you're unable to stand trans people, but it's really that you can't stand people who are opportunistic and manipulative and who use their gender expression as a cudgel in order to get you to comply with things? I think that would be more fair to say, right? And he's like, he said yes. He was like, yeah, absolutely. That would be a better way of describing it. And I was like, okay, so that you don't necessarily dislike trans people, you don't fully understand why your coworker's doing this thing, and you think that it's a possibility that it could be some side effect from their mental illness, as he was describing. He said a lot more nasty things, but I omitted that. But like, I don't know. I feel like people speak hastily, and they speak more out of resentment for some other nebulous thing than actual hatred for the group that they're vilifying. And I mean, that could be the case with any person that you talk to. So, you know, you could be a right-winger and you could talk to a left-winger, and they might say something like, you know, the whole Donald Trump administration is full of Nazis. And to you, that could be news. To you, you could be like, well, I've never even heard anyone say that. Like, why would you go and say that the administration of the country is Nazis? That sounds insane. But if you were open-minded and that person was to tell you all of the things that very clearly align, like the mandate for leadership, the fact that Project 2025 even exists, the fact that we are about to start carting people off to fucking camps, he's building the camps, there's clear evidence of that, and that the beer hall push was Jan 6th and failed, just like the original beer hall push, and he was ousted from office. It writes itself, man. You know, he might as well have just written a version of Mein Kampf when he was, you know, at Mar-a-Lago waiting for his next presidency term. But if someone was to explain that stuff, just a normal, average, everyday person who's on the left and person who's on the right in America, the person on the right would probably, and if they're friends or whatever, the person on the right would probably just say, like, I don't know if I want to talk about politics right now. And the person on the left would probably maybe be insistent or not. It could be reversed. Whatever. The discourse in America on everyday dinner table issues is really more nebulous than anything that creators get up to. Like, people like Hutch and like Rationality Rules and like all the biggest creators that are like anti-hate content or pro-left content or whatever the fuck you want to call them, they get really caught up in nuance. Really, really, really caught up. Like, this is such an obscure story. Nobody's ever going to have heard about this. This obviously is just being used as this propaganda to push forward a narrative, but like, I don't know. I think that what other people hear in the news about America is that we are just binary. Like, we either hate someone or we love someone, and it's always left versus right. Like, there's so much overlap and so much interlocking qualities and ideologies between people in America that it's, I don't know. Hutch, I guess, is a good example. I mentioned Hutch, that he's like a leftist or whatever, but he's become way more center than he used to be. And I think his friends wouldn't leave him just because of that. I think he even gets in arguments with his friends on his podcast. Like, you know, I think people are able to have spirited discussions as long as they're open to learning and open to knowing that they don't necessarily know all of everything. Like, you don't know the entire political discourse. You don't know what's going on in somebody else's family, and you don't know why they have the views that they do. Hey, Luke, how's it going? Welcome back. You know, and it could be entirely possible this person, or that every person who you talk to on the right truly believes that they're doing the right thing. But there's also a large amount of people who know they're not. And passive support is support. So, I don't know. I think if you're on that side and you're confronted with the reality of things, you should be willing to understand that you may be wrong. Just like I know that I preface a lot of stuff with saying that I don't know if I'm using the right term. I don't know if I'm using the right wording here, and I don't know if I'm explaining this correctly, but here's what I understand about this. I think if right-wingers were to approach the conversation with more of that mentality, and not in a dishonest way, because it's usually dishonest, like, I would be much more willing to still have debates, or at least to, like, I don't know, to to be more fervent in my belief and hope that they might listen. But I'm not here to try and change anybody's mind. Like, that's not what my goal is. My goal is to offer up a place for people to have that discussion. And since I don't have very big viewership, I'm the one that has to have that discussion, which I don't mind. I'm happy to do that. Humility is the most important piece of any discussion. I agree, Luke. That is one thing we for sure agree on. Yeah, the news outside the U.S. definitely shows you guys to be crazy right-wing or crazy left-wing. Well, that's propaganda, you know? I think that just goes to show that we dominate the news cycle, you know, for propagandistic materials. And I would say that if anything, that's proof of the inherent dishonesty of the people in power, which can include left-wingers at different times in history. Dishonesty, corruption, if you have any kind of ability to be in a position of authority, you have the possibility of being corrupted. And in all likelihood, you already are or are going to be. Either through a policy that you support that is put forth by someone who's trying to control things behind the scenes, which, goddamn, I wish, like, conspiracy theorists were way more willing to actually engage in real conspiracy theory, like how corporations are running everything. That would be cool. I would love to engage on that. Some TikTok reactions, you know? But it always ends up being the Jews with these guys. What? It's always the Jews. Please don't take this the wrong way, lol, but I've been thinking a lot about you. Ooh, spicy. It's been around the whole Jesus piece of the conversation we talked about. You'll have to refresh my memory because I have talked a lot about Jesus and God in the last few weeks. I do remember us speaking about it, but I don't remember specifically. You asked me about where the Bible specifically talks about Jesus' death being the new covenant, and at first I didn't have a passage for you, but I believe I do now. Yeah, hit me with it. Hit me!
Followed was a massive criticism, with people questioning his choice of location, though the original video has since...
But because of the right to protest and the right of to free speech, you don't have to explain any of that, nor should you be held accountable for it.
It's been deleted. It is now circulating on social media platforms, especially X. Okay, so let me get this right.
If you guys,
this guy, Madhu Raju,
if you guys notice, I am turning off the phone cam, but you can still see, I can still hear you. We are still doing everything we're supposed to be doing. But if you engage in the cannabis arts, then feel free to hit that bong in almost exactly 15 seconds, because we are about ready to blast off. Hebrews chapter 9. I'll look that up while we are listening to this. So please feel free to keep listening. If you're just joining, say hi in the chat to each other. I would appreciate, the discourse spreading to the chat. That would be fun. And if the result of the poll right now pisses you off, then weigh in, because the left is not more evil than Christians. Totally irrelevant point, but love the hat. Oh man, it's a brand called Empire.
Cybersecurity firm.
I believe they might be UK based, so check them out. I don't know if that is for real the case, but I think I remember seeing that they might be UK based, which is why I can't order from them, because it's just I don't want to pay import costs and stuff. So taking new recruits for our WoW guild. Jesus fucking Christ, Skippy.
To spit on the graves of brave American soldiers, because this is a sacred site honoring over 400,000 American lives lost.
All right, again, cheers. Smoke them if you got them. Hitting that bowl.
In the fight against tyranny. And this guy decides to turn it into a backdrop for some stupid TikTok video. Honestly, social media, particularly apps like TikTok, have literally turned people's brains into mush.
Wait, what? They were dancing in front of the Washington Monument. Did I miss something?
Yo.
Oh yeah, LP, man. Sure, you know, let me... hang on. I want to say funny stuff. Let me get some Ridge Tea biscuits. How about some Ridge Tea biscuits? How about, I'll take a bunch of, damn it, what is it? Marmite? No. Bovril. I'll take a bunch of Bovril. And, what's the, soup cubes. What is the soup cubes? Bisto. I'll take some Bisto. And, some Blue Tack. I just want all the stuff that I can't, like, I don't understand here. Like, I don't know what it is, and I just want it. I just want to touch it and, like, realize that it's real. You know? So, Ridge Tea biscuits. In my respect for the Yogs cast, I guess I'd have to ask for Jaffa Cakes. And yeah, Bisto. You know, Bisto. What? I think that's bouillon. I think it's specifically chicken bouillon.
Honestly, social media, particularly apps like TikTok, have literally turned people's brains into mush. Like, why would you ever post something like...
But this is what you're doing. But you realize that this is what you are doing, sir. You realize that you are doing the same thing right now. This is what you're doing. What? The left... on the poll, the left is at 67%. I think we can do better. There should not be a majority of people who believe that the left is more evil than Christianity. Did the left ever do a crusade? The fuck? I'm not talking about leftists or revolutionaries here. I'm talking about just the political left of America. When's the last time we did a Juneteenth massacre? When's the last time we, I don't know. Fuck. Aren't most mass shootings, like, aren't those, like usually people consider themselves to be conservative? Global conspiracist sort of shit?
Like this. What made you actually think that this would be okay? This would be
Well, the freedom of speech, our First Amendment.
The same thing as going to a graveyard and dancing on people's graves.
Which is legal.
And recording it for a stupid TikTok video.
Which is still legal.
Like,
well, actually, no, I think that might even count as desecration of a corpse, right? Consider It Done was the last main guy. Yeah, probably. But he ran a cult, so one could argue that that's, you know, fascism, right? Cult leader. I mean, they go hand in hand. Cults and MAGA. Because MAGA's a cult. They have to pay duty on it. No, fuck you! Duty free! Too bad we're not both in the military. Probably transfer it, you know, using some complicated process, bureaucratic process or something. Too bad. And I don't want Ridge Tea biscuits. I hear they're pretty gross. I think the most recent mass shootings were done by folks who may be viewed as on the left. I don't know about that. You're talking about one person who considered themselves trans? And I mean, you're talking about fundamentalists. So, inherently not the left. Even if you're trans and a fundamentalist, that's pretty right-wing. Pretty right-wing. And if you look at all the manifestos left behind, typically fundamentalists. Extremists. In whatever ideology.
This is not okay. And these are literally fallen soldiers who died for this country. And you actually thought it would...
And who fought and died for the First Amendment.
...be okay to just completely disrespect them.
Yes.
By filming a dance. Honestly. You know...
Yeah.
What? Funniest thing about all this is that it is being alleged, rumored, that this guy has been fired. And he's an H-1B visa, so this technically cancels the visa, and he'd have to be deported back to...
Weird that you're doxing him like this. It's almost like you want him to be deported.
Wherever he came from. I'm assuming...
Did you forward this video to the local ICE center? for processing.
He's from India, so maybe he can go dance at the Taj Mahal or find a landfill he could dance on top of.
Including some nice xenophobia and racism there.
And I'm sure that wouldn't be hard to find.
And in case your ears are fucked, get the
Nice. Putting a program that's made by a bunch of leftists about the corruption of the media industry. Real good example to use. You fucking dickhead. I mean, yeah, sure. That looks like the World War II monument, but it's in the same Capitol courtyard as the Washington Memorial, and I think one of the most like popular tourist destinations for people in the U.S. is the Washington Monument. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Sonny Jim, what's up? So it feels weird to just imply that they are purposefully trying to dance on the graves of fallen soldiers, especially when the caption of the fucking thing says, "Don't rush challenge." Is it possible? Let's just consider for a moment. Is it possible that for this challenge, it might be to dance to this song in a fun or exotic place? And, you know, the better the place, the more engagement you'll get. Could it possibly be that? Could it possibly be that they wanted to go to one of the most famous tourist destinations in the fucking world? And possibly record a dance that just happened to catch... You can clearly see it's framed in the center. It's obviously the focal point of the entire TikTok. So, I mean, I'm sorry that they caught something that was in the same fucking thing in the TikTok. But again, the soldiers that are the soldiers that are being honored here fought and died for the Constitution, which includes the First fucking Amendment. Right. Clearly, the focal point was the Washington Monument. And it doesn't fucking matter what they were doing. Yeah, all the memories of memorials of DC are when half a mile of the Washington Monument. Yeah. So it's like if I'm dancing on Abraham Lincoln's grave. If I do a friggin' dance right in front of the memory pool. Reflection pool. Memorial pool. Whatever the fuck it's called. I've only been there in Fallout 3. Why am I having a stroke? My mouth isn't forming words correctly. That's because I can't take my ADHD medication anymore. God damn. Stupid healthcare. Seems like they're grasping at straws. Clearly no respect to soldiers intended. Yeah.
or baton twirling or doing any other circus-like tricks will join him, all right? One strike policy applies.
Okay, so apparently the story is also going super viral in India and within Indian circles in the US. So I found this other video here. So let's just take a look at it because I just want to see what these guys are actually saying.
You can give us some more details regarding this Indian origin.
Do you guys know how many Indian reporters are AI now? It's fucking crazy. It is insane. And you know, like, I find it so weird that a lot of the AI agents and the, or at least the moderators on like forums and like Reddit and what is it? The people who moderate like YouTube, like copyright claims and stuff like that. They are like they're all sorry, I got distracted. Manually assessing claims. So it's people who are sitting in front of a computer who are pretending to be AI. It's in the terms of service or whatever. They could be AI most of the time, but it's just, and they're probably in India. Like, they're probably in places like India where labor is cheap for these corporations. It's fucking crazy. It's so dystopian, the world that we live in. Why aren't we musicking? Come on, Bossa Nova. Supposed to be some new Bossa Nova beats. Sorry, let me, I forgot, Luke, I wanted to look at your, the thing, Hebrews chapter 9, okay. I'll keep playing this while I look at Hebrews chapter 9.
Man who might face deportation.
Well, yes, an Indian origin man in the US might be deported after a video of him dancing at the Woodward Second Memorial.
Yeah, OP, didn't you know this is Footloose. We're in the Footloose universe. And, now no one's allowed to dance. Why can't you take it? I stopped taking vitamins because it was too expensive. I found a cheaper way to get through my insurance. Because I don't have insurance anymore. Can't afford it. Went up $200 a month. And I do not make enough to do that. I'm at ground zero with funds. Well, the Indians aren't known for their manners. They would dance on their own family's graves. That sounds like a stereotype, though, Sunny Jim. And we're trying to establish here that stereotypes are not okay. Because they are often racist. And racism is not okay. Another point for the left. Can somebody vote for the left? Fuck. The left is at 62% on the poll, you assholes. Why is the majority of my audience fundies? Come on. Christianity. It's not the left that fucking did the mass enslavement of indigenous peoples. You do not need insurance to get them. Yeah, you do. Adderall? That'd be like, I would be paying the same price for them if I was just getting them third party. Get state health care? I can't. You just need a prescription. What? How much do you pay? How much would you pay? Like for a month? Oh my god, you guys didn't tell me that my shelves were showing. Is that shelves? Hi, shelves. You didn't tell me. I still gotta have my face on there. You know, that's important. American healthcare system as bad as the rest of the world makes it out to be. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yep. Big Pharma's more evil, but we have the best healthcare in the world. Like, I mean, the best quality healthcare. Some of the best quality healthcare. I think perhaps like we're edged out by places like Sweden or Norway, or like, you know, the places that have like the universal advanced future sciences with self game end pods and fucking magic fermented shark flesh. I don't know much about Norwegia. Big Pharma's more evil. Well, it's more that the system that allows Big Pharma to exist being evil, because Big Pharma is simply big Pharma. You mean like, you know, medical corporations are simply taking advantage of the free market, acting as middlemen. Which, you know, if you haven't heard me say it enough, I fucking hate middlemen. I am not a big fan of middlemen or intermediaries or corporate consultants. Not a big fan. And like, I don't know. I feel like maybe corporations just need to go away, you know? Corporations that hold monopolies through creating shell companies that act as middlemen. And then by having lobbyists, lobbying firms who go and act on their behalf to get legislators to vote certain ways. Pretty dystopian. Pretty dystopian. Very depressing. CVS is threatening to close hundreds of stores near me because they don't want to be any third-party oversight. That's about to be required by a new state bill. Yeah, that sounds like them. Yeah. Was it them that were forced to stop selling cigarettes because of some big class action lawsuit? I think they have what is it? I think they have generational trauma from being oversighted. I think methinks that they're trying to avoid accountability in the future, and perhaps that's why they're so dodgy. You know, man, I can never find like my actual glasses cloth. Where is it? Somebody's hiding it from me. Yeah, we have free healthcare, but real bottom line quality here in the UK. Yeah. Yeah, thanks, Brexit. I don't know. I figure that's just still a trendy thing to say. Through my insurance, my Vyvanse costs $180 a month. That's so expensive. Through GoodRx, it's only $50 a month. That's still kind of expensive. That's not bad. That's actually not bad. I paid $30. But do you think you could probably get like generic Adderall through there? Because I think I can still get a. How would you get a prescription if you didn't have healthcare? Because it's the actual healthcare that I can't afford. It's not that my prescription went up $200. Oh, I got my water heater's screaming at me. I gotta go. Close a door. I have to go close a door somewhere. But you heard that phrase that when a door closes, then a window does something. I'll be right back. The water heater alarm is basically like an old lady yelling at me that I'm letting all the hot air out of the house. So I gotta be a good son, grandson. Who is this old lady? Is she my grandma? Is she my nana? Nana? Through my state insurance, my fluoxetine is free. Guys, gotta stop taking that one. Like, switch to something else. Take Wellbutrin is for depression. Take something else, man. And I think fluoxetine is anxiety meds. I'm not sure. You just need a primary care physician to send the prescription. They need to see you every 3 months, even without insurance. So just if I had my last primary care physician was through Kaiser, well, I guess I'd probably have to pick a new one. And then they would have to reassess me, right? It really was just, I think it was a questionnaire. And then they were like, well, yeah, you've got ADHD. Sweet. So whatever the cost to see my doctor is usually around $130. Fuck, man. Now you're nickel and diming me. You're nickel and diming me, man. Yeesh. Let's get through this video real quick.
Okay, never mind. I can't even understand what the hell she's saying.
Oh, you work in the insurance space? Well, there you go.
Quit
nickel and diming me.
This just actually reminded me of one of the most funniest Trump clips ever. Let me play you this clip. Let me find you this clip here. Hold on 1 second. Okay, so I got the clip. There's actually 2 clips here. Really short. Okay, so the first one here.
Hi, ladies.
The first one's funny. Take a look.
Mr. President, people in India would be welcoming your decision to extradite Tahabur Rana to...
I can't understand a word he's saying.
I don't know what you're saying.
Mr.
Oh, yeah, laugh at the racism. That's cool. Watch, hang on, let me... Can you see the lovely ladies? You can also see my weed. Can you see the lovely ladies? Those are my pups. I have a third, but she is with her mother. I'm never going to refer to her as her mother ever again. That sounds weird. But she's with my wife. Visiting the grandparents. I'd also like to refer to them as grandparents. Okay. The other pup's with my wife. My wife. You guys, did you like that impression of that character Borzoi? Bornat? What, Lindsay Bornat? Lindsay Borgnine? Ernest Borgnine? Chester. You'll just need to call your Kaiser office and let them know you lost your insurance and ask how much a doc appointment would be. Can't I just, if the I could probably get a hold of the doc that I had, so wouldn't I just be able to say, hey, can you forward the prescription to, I think you said GoodRx? I gotta clean these glasses, man. Fuck. Stop distracting me.
I love the way Trump just says, yeah, I don't know what you're saying, buddy. Watch the second clip. The second clip's
right. I mean, I think you can be like nice about it. You know, you don't necessarily have to be a dick by saying, I can't understand what you're saying. Let's move on. I mean, if you don't care to know what the person's saying, then okay, that's fine. But I mean, you could say, sir, I'm very sorry. It perhaps might be a language barrier thing, but I wasn't able to actively understand the words that you're saying. Is there any way that we could get a translator, or we could use the app or something so that I could understand you better? I want to make sure that I heard and understood your entire question, just so that I can give you the best possible answer. That's coming from just Joe fucking average on the street. And y'all, I don't know if you guys remember this, but Donald Trump is a very devout Christian. Okay, he likes both the Old Testament and the New Testament. All right. Do y'all claim him? I hope not. I wouldn't. I wouldn't do it. Not for $100. Yes, but the state of Washington requires you to see your doc every 3 months to get your Adderall script filled since it's a controlled substance. Yeah, that makes sense. I live in Oregon, but I assume that the laws are pretty similar. Why are there always more people watching the vertical YouTube feed? I don't fucking know, man. Maybe it's the secret sauce that unlocks the algorithmic gravy from which we all wish would coat our spoons and adorn our mashed taters. I don't know. I'm from the Republic responding to this. Makes me feel like the most confused contrarian. Yeah. Tell me fucking about it. Most of the viewers are Christian. And or MAGA. But I guess I don't know. Maybe you guys like something about. Maybe y'all find me attractive. You know. Maybe I'm like the sexual awakening to the closeted right. I'll take on that burden. I'll take it on. I'll take it all. What? I really would like to let this play. He was just being racist. That was the conclusion. He was just being racist.
Even funnier.
He could have said that nicely. He didn't.
So
that's just the kind of person he
is.
is.
Indian Prime Minister Modi. There's a Indian reporter. Okay, he's gonna ask Trump a question in English, but Trump has a translator who's gonna translate the reporter's English question back to Trump in English. Take a look.
Say about the Bangladesh issue, because we saw and it is evident that how the deep state of United States was involved in regime change during the Biden administration.
To be fair, I would have to listen to that multiple times because I could not understand what he's saying. It's just his accent is just very thick. But you can be nice about it. You really don't have to be a dick. Like that's Goose's universal rule. I wish, he had some kind of effect on a soundboard or something that we could play. The universal rule is just don't be a dick. Cosmically, just don't be a dick. Gods and monsters, kings and emperors of the historical past and future and Everyone, just don't be a dick. Just don't be a dick. All the individual atoms that hippie woo-woo crystal mancers believe are sentient and able to think and feel, don't be a dick. All those light entities from the dimension, don't be dicks. I don't think that's too much to ask. You know? I think it's fair. And yeah, Skippy, come on, man. And I'm not even grifting. I can't even take advantage of the viewership because they're insular. Those people are stalwart. You people, you guys out there, the majority of my viewers who are right-wing and Christian, you guys are stalwart. I'll give you that. Even if you think that I'm a monster or a demon or whatever for my witchery, then, I mean, you know, I'm here for it. I mean, that's community, right? People with diverse beliefs and fervent arguments and disagreements getting together and still forming a society, right? Isn't that kind of cool? I think that's kind of cool. Or at least thinking about it positively anyway. But yeah, I don't know what drives the vertical feed to be. I think people are just always scrolling on their phones, you know, and like some people really only consume YouTube as their visual entertainment, myself included. So that's probably why. I mean, it's just seems like a general or a visible through line, you know. If you think about it, wonky. If you think about how parasocial people are, and if you think about how lazy we are, and how much we don't want to interact with the outside world, then it all makes sense. I think then I can wrap my head around it. Danny Pewdie, is he, I can't even remember the character's name. Neve? Is it Neve? No. What's the character's name? I can't remember. And I actually never watched Community. I started to watch it. I maybe got up to the 5th episode, maybe. And yeah, that was it. I just never got around to watching it. You know, it's kind of one of those things where it's like, oh yeah, I should totally watch that. It's like you mention offhandedly to the wife. It's like, oh, we should. Abed, there you go. You mention offhandedly to the wife during dinner or something. We should really watch that Community show. Oh yeah, is that streaming anywhere? I don't know. I'll check it out later. And then it's something that you just completely forget. And it's like a cycle. You keep forgetting and you keep forgetting and you keep forgetting. Ay. All right. I've finally cleaned half of my glasses in the 20 minutes since I've started.
Then Muhammad Yunus made Junior Soros also. So what is your point of view about the Bangladesh?
Something about George Soros?
Well, there was no role for our deep state. It was.
I'm sorry. Oh my god. When I heard that girl speaking English earlier on that YouTube video, it just reminded me of these two funny clips from Trump. Oh. Anyways, I don't think there's any more I could talk about this situation.
Gluck.
Frankly, I just hope this guy gets his ass deported back to wherever he came from, whether it be India, Bangladesh, or whatever. Sri Lanka.
Dude, you're Asian. What? From India or like wherever, I don't know, Sri Lanka. What? What? It's like being from Texas and looking at people from Georgia and going like, why don't you just crawl back into like a mud hole or like a tree or something?
Wherever. You know.
Like what?
You should not be doing that. Like, you should not be disrespecting fallen soldiers, so.
You should not ever consider exercising your rights, especially if you're here on an H-1 visa. How fucking dare you? How fucking dare you dance in a video while you're here on an H-1 visa? How fucking dare you? Who are you? Who do you think you are? Being here? As a foreigner? And trying to dance? In a courtyard? Time to go shoot up a church! What do you think of the mayor of New York? Seems like a good guy. Pretty staunch supporter of freedom and rights and shit. I'm into that. Ah! Hey, I'm in Georgia. I find that offensive. Well, Atlanta omitted. Nah, for the most part. And yes, Skippy, he's from Georgia, the country. I don't know if you're familiar with it. Great place. Actually, really great place. Most of those rural Slavic countries are like so fucking cool.
Hey, what's up, guys? So, do you guys recall that story I did from a week ago?
So he makes 3 videos a day. I mean, just from what I know, he probably also has a live stream. He probably also does a bunch of shorts. But he advertises that he does 3 videos a day. Who is talking to me on the phone right now? Maybe preface your statement about a church with a statement like that. Maybe say I'm a comedian or I'm off my meds, which is true. Yeah, Helmet, have a good one, man. I don't think anything I've said is off or is outside of the TOS. Because that was, you know, in reference to real life events. I think I'm pretty sure. Just reassessing everything I was saying. I'm good, Skippy. Thank you. I'm usually pretty careful not to run afoul. Because if every time that you see the number drop down to 0, it's because someone has reported my channel. And it tends to be like the Nazis and the Christians who then still follow me for some reason. I'm into it. I like the drama. It's very fun to navigate through. I'm homosexual and black. I get my booster tomorrow. For which? Which of those are you boosting? The man's hilarious. I still don't think they're not clean to my standards. I'm a little bit obsessive. Are you a leftist? I guess I'd consider myself a leftist. I don't know. I did the political compass thing, but I don't know that it really helped me throw a label on it. But I was pretty far left. I like to joke and say that I am just to the right of throwing Molotovs through Parliament windows. But, you know, language like that is dangerous these days. People might, you know, mistake my slight tan complexion for me trying to avoid ice, and then, you know, then it's just chaos and pandemonium. For the record, I am not trying to escape ice. Ah! I can see again! I can see again! He's a comedian. Nope. He's off his meds. Yep. Do you support my homosexual voice? Not when you say it like that. I don't know. I mean, if you could word it less creepy, then yeah, maybe I'd support it. But that's just a really weird way to say that. I support most people expressing themselves. All right. Next video, 6 minutes.
Smoothie King
Let's hope we can get through in the next hour.
So what you had was 2 black female employees refuse service to a couple.
Oh, this was actually the video that introduced me to this guy.
America, because there was no other justifiable reason to discriminate against this couple. You know,
I'm vegan, but I'm not vegan when I meet up with my classmate. If you get it, meet up. That would have been better spoken, right? Because I mean, it's meta. It is meta. It made me think. Yo, don't support me expressing my wow sexuality. Oh, Skippy.
Very cordial in the video evidence that was provided. And, you know, they were just asking questions about why they were not.
You see how he does that, like, brainwashing thing? Where he's, like, prefacing it with, oh, they were very cordial in the video evidence provided. But he's not playing that. He's not playing their cordiality. Where's that? I mean, you have the video, right? I mean, you said, like, hang on, let's see, you know.
Yeah, we're at Smoothie King, and they're discriminating and saying we cannot get
Already a false accusation.
service because Jake has a Trump service on. So.
And it was because of their hat.
We were just wanting a smoothie, and you literally looked at us, and I asked you if everything was okay. You said we don't feel comfortable serving you because of my husband's hoodie. That is discrimination.
She said hat and then hoodie.
That is illegal.
No, it's not. Businesses can refuse service as long as they're not discriminating, and political affiliation does not one of the protected classes. What does annoy you the most? Someone who's homosexual, you're not even spelling it right, and loves to dress in woman's dress, or someone who is right. Trans people are not by default gay. Do you think every trans woman is attracted to men? Because that would be a weird opinion. You know you can say gay, right? You're allowed to say the word gay. So what annoys me the most is people with weird misconceptions that make them sound like they're just goblin people sitting behind a keyboard. That makes me a little bit annoyed. Maybe learn something about the people you hate, huh?
That has nothing to do with us wanting a smoothie. You don't own this. You don't own Smoothie King.
But they have the right to refuse service, especially if you're being disruptive, which obviously someone has the intent of being disruptive. If a trans woman is lesbian, then you dead gender them. Is she hetero? If she's attracted to men, if trans woman is lesbian, is she hetero? Then no. By nature of the word lesbian, no. You know, it feels like you're purposefully misunderstanding. You get what I'm saying? Again, you should try learning something about the people you hate. You might actually be convinced to not hate them anymore if you understood, you know, the impact that your hate has on the community.
Okay, so that was a short snippet of that clip.
Oh, a short snippet. So, we're probably missing crucial context here.
If you want to watch the longer version, you can check my previous video. That said, imagine if the roles were reversed.
Oh my god, it's always like, imagine if the roles were reversed with these fucking guys. That's not the case, though. We're trying to talk about something that happened in reality. You're bringing up something hypothetical that's completely irrelevant. Just because it reinforces something you believe doesn't mean it's going to be convincing to anybody else. It's still bullshit. I'm gay myself, but the old school one. I don't know what that means. I mean, gay kind of means the same thing across generations. I'm not sure. I've met plenty of Freddie Mercurys in my generation. All right, so he's not exclusive. Oh yeah. Now the first covenant had regulations for worship and also an earthly sanctuary. A tabernacle was set up. In its first room were the lamp stand and the table from its consecrated bread. This was called the holy place. Behind a second curtain was a room called the most holy place. So it's describing a temple, essentially. Above the ark, cherubim of glory overshadowing the atonement cover, but we cannot discuss these things in detail now. Why not? You have all the time in the world. But I mean, if a trans woman loves a woman, is she lesbian? If both of them are women, then there would be in a gay relationship. Cynical, you don't know that. All right? Don't just assume people can't sing. How dare you? How fucking dare you? You're confused? Yes. You really could have just stopped there. Because what you're saying is just more misunderstanding. Trans people are born that way. I mean, you know, gender dysphoria is a symptom of an overall not being born in the right body. Pretty easy to understand. So, maybe that might clear your confusion? I don't know. Something tells me probably not. So I wanted to listen to the first part of this because we skipped that.
All because the husband was wearing a Trump hoodie. And this obviously caused a huge uproar within.
There was a Trump service cap or something where it had some like insignia there. It could have been like fucking like a Nazi symbol for all we know. I don't know. I'm not gonna cast aspersions, even though he does. But it was like "Take Back America" was on the hoodie, which certainly implies that the young woman who's in high school who's working two jobs might not be welcome in his America.
Because there was no other justifiable reason to discriminate against this couple. You know, they were
using the word discriminate does not make it a legal precedent.
Very cordial in the video evidence that was provided. And, you know, they were just asking questions about why they were not being serviced. And when they found out, you know, they were still very polite about everything. That said, you know,
right.
The employees, the high schoolers, they just basically freaked out as soon as they saw that Trump hoodie. Anyways, I'm going to play you that clip of the altercation for those.
Oh, black people, Skippy. In this case, they're taking it back from black people. But also immigrants, anyone LGBTQ, you know, the old chestnut full of culture war issues that, you know, apparently we keep bringing up.
If you haven't watched it, if you've already seen the clip,
completely unprompted for no reason.
And then I'm going to play you the update because there's been new revelations about this incident.
No, if you got enough money, it doesn't matter what color your skin is, or where on the gender spectrum you fit. Doesn't matter. You can just make it go away.
Yeah, we're at Smoothie King, and
so I mean, you have to ask first, why are they recording? I mean, I get that you might be upset being denied service. I get it. I get that. You know, I've been denied service. There was one time where I was at a sushi bar and I was a little too tipsy to be interacting with people. And everything was fine until they cut me off and they gave me the bill. And apparently, upon hearing, sorry, sir, but we can't serve you anymore, I was very unhappy with that. And so I was shouting as I was walking out. Not a proud moment in my life. But there was a different element of ego involved in that. That was because I was like, I'm a chef. You can't be kicking me out. I'm a chef. I run these restaurants. Fuck you. It was the principle of the matter. I've been served until I've been blackout drunk before. Of course, that was illegal for them to be doing, and dangerous. But gosh darn it, if my neighborhood bar does it, you should too. This was like 20 years ago, so I've way grown out of that. But yeah, it was certainly. I didn't start recording, I guess is the moral of the story. So you have to ask, what kind of person feels so incensed that they're being denied service that they then need to start recording? Could it be because maybe they're already like a pair of influencers and maybe they're already like generating content? Maybe they thought that wearing something that was a bit insightful might help boost their analytics a little bit. Maybe, perhaps. I don't know. I'm not going to say they were scamming. But we all know about things that look like ducks and talk like ducks and walk like ducks. Goose step like ducks.
They're discriminating and saying we cannot get service because...
Nope. Just because you used a legal term does not make the situation a legal situation.
Jake has a Trump service on. So...
Trump's service hat, right? I need to know what that is.
Trump's service on.
I need to know what that is. Hat. It looked like it had a... Like, it looked like it was dark, but it had, like, a little insignia. Yeah, I'm not sure. He's got so much fucking merch out there. I have no idea what it could have been. Oh, man, that kind of looks like the insignia that was on it. Oh, no. Is that could be compression or... No, it's not compression or motion. What is that? I've never been denied service, except one time a dude said I looked like a copy when saw me way back in college. You gotta do it with them so they know you're cool. I did deny somebody service back in the day when I worked at Hollywood Video. Hollywood Video? Because she threw a handful of coins in your face. IDing her for what? For a video? You fucking square. You fucking square. You're a narc. You narc. Jesus would vote for Trump. Then get deported, yeah. You'd have the Enrique Tarrio experience.
We were just wanting a smoothie and you literally looked at us and...
Right, so... Call me crazy. Do it! But I feel like if I was to rent stuff because you didn't have a card... Oh, gotcha. You were gonna let it slide, and you're like, I just need to record your ID so that we can, you know, make sure that you bring the video back. And she was like, fuck you! Change! Which is probably wrong. I would not condone behavior like that. But, call me crazy. I feel like anybody would have just walked out of the store, like any normal person. Let I guess preface it with that. Any normal person would have just walked out of the store and said, all right, that's fine. You know what? That's so stupid. Like, fuck that, you know, and then gotten mad outside, you know, gotten angry outside the store, and then just like, you know, bitched about it later on TikTok, right? In typical fashion. But that's not what they did. They resisted leaving, used a misleading legal term to define it, and then tried to apparently, like, they got the girls' faces in the video, so, you know, trying to not trying to identify, but like exploiting children. Again, these girls are in high school, as this guy is, you know, telling us. I only have his information to go off of. But if they're in high school, it still means that they're under the age of 18. Could be. In all likelihood. So, I mean, that's already pretty hinky. It already shows that they're not willing to abide by whatever social contract the rest of us are. So, like, already they're acting like fucking weirdos. You leave. You leave the place. Even if you don't like that they asked you to leave, you still leave. You just leave. You leave the place, and that's all it takes. And then you're good. And then you're good. Like, that's it. You leave. And it takes a rush of cortisol through stress, increased heart rate, adrenaline pumping. It's very easy to stay mad. But if you step away from whatever anger it is that you're feeling for around 30 minutes, that is just the average. This is based on some kind of science. I don't know. You would have to look up the research on that. But it's around 30 minutes that it takes for your anger to subside. And then you can think more clearly again. So if you're in a fight with your wife, if you're yelling at your kids, or if you are angry at a stranger online, step away from it for about a half an hour. Or if you get cut off from a smoothie because of your political beliefs, you voted for the man, and now you're being held accountable for your vote. If a person doesn't want to sell to you and they're not discriminating against your skin color, your your religious affiliation, anything like that, that's within the law, man. I'm sorry. You're being held accountable for your stance that you proudly display. One could argue in an insightful manner. Far be it for me to suggest that that is what's happening here. That's just one man's opinion. But it still appears as though the left is more evil, according to the poll on the stream. Even if you're just flipping through, can you please weigh in? That's just such a shame.
I asked you if everything was okay. You said we don't feel comfortable serving you because of my husband.
So she incited the incident. So, okay, let's just mock this up here, all right? Let's just improv this situation out. Let's workshop this, as the actors would say. Oh, hey, honey, I'm trying to think of an idea for a new TikTok. Do you have any ideas? Oh, well, last week I wore my Make America White Again hat at a protest, and it got like a lot of views because, you know, all those black people were like, they probably used the N-word casually, because all those, you know, black people were like really angry at me for it. It got a lot of hits, baby. It got a lot of hits. Okay, so, I mean, I was going to go get a smoothie. Like, did you want to just, you know, maybe set something up? Like, maybe we'll have you wear your Trump shirt and your Trump hat and see, like, if anyone wants to go, like, crash out about it. Yeah, okay, yeah, it sounds good. They walk into the smoothie place. She's like, oh, yeah, this is exactly it, because they say they're not going to serve him. This is exactly the situation they were looking for. That's a conspiracy theory, obviously. But, you know, I feel like if you have a established record of being a content creator, and this is the first instinct that you have when you're denied service at a smoothie place, is to start filming, perhaps there might have been some other motive than just going out and getting a smoothie. Or at least opportunistic and exploitative. And if anything, what you're doing is illegal, filming children.
Discrimination.
In order to what? Defame? To threaten? To what? Intimidate? To go viral? These are high school girls.
That is illegal.
According to them.
That has nothing to do with us wanting a smoothie.
You voted for him. Your actions, crazy enough, have consequences. Don't you say here FAFO? Oh no, that's the guy who's sorry. That's the guy who's reacting to it. I'm sorry.
You don't own this. You don't own Smoothie King.
Okay, so that was
You don't own Smoothie King.
But if you want to watch a lot,
I'm gonna let it play. I gotta get more water.
Video. That said,
You don't fucking own Smoothie King.
Imagine
I'm the Smoothie King.
A white employee refusing service to a black customer. The mainstream media would have lost it. Like CNN, MSNBC, they still would have been covering it even a week later. Heck, they might have been race riots like outside of that Smoothie King in Michigan. And it's just so crazy that, you know, because it happened the other way around to a conservative, to a Trump supporter, MAGA, barely gets any coverage.
A man who was refused service at an Ann Arbor Smoothie King for wearing a Trump shirt speaking out on camera for the first time. The video of the two employees telling him and his wife to leave has gone viral. Smoothie King has apologized, but as Fox 2's Scott Wolchek tells us, that apology may not mean too much.
We were just wanting a smoothie, and you literally looked at us, and I asked you if everything was okay. You said we don't feel comfortable serving you because of my husband's hoodie. That is discrimination. Okay, well, have a great day.
It's a video gone viral. A local man denied service at an
cheese,
Ann Arbor Smoothie King for wearing this
About to eat the
shirt.
shit out of some
So
of this
what does it
cheese.
say on there?
This shirt says, Trump, take America back 2024.
What a
Do you think
douche.
there's anything offensive about your shirt?
I guess there it is to some people.
It's something Jacob Lindemeyer has learned all too well ever since he felt like grabbing a smoothie on Monday at the Jackson Road Smoothie King.
This is the
He
perfect
says he goes
soundtrack
there
for
all the
this.
time, but Jacob was denied his smoothie. What he has received, he says, are death threats.
You better watch your back. We know where you live. And this is like thousands and thousands and thousands.
Call me crazy. Again, conspiracy theorist again. I don't think he received any death threats. Far be it for me to just claim that a person is lying without any convincing evidence. But I just, I don't know. I don't believe him.
Of messages. Never in my life would I have ever thought that I would be getting death threats over my political beliefs.
Hey, you know that's a crime, right?
One could argue he's trying to intimidate her by saying that it's a crime. And he's filming children. Without their or their parents' consent. If anyone here is committing the crime, it's this guy. And I think they fired the girls in the video. Super great. So again, how is the left more evil? Because I bet you he claims to be Christian. Just a wild stab in the dark.
Discrimination.
We have the right to refuse service here, and that's what we
Not due to political views, though.
We've worked.
Uh-huh. Good sir, to your nuh-uh, I do reply, uh-huh.
So hard to get where we're at now. Like, I'm an entirely...
Right, voting and supporting policies, right, from specific candidates, and then now living in the world that you've set up. How are you not seeing this? How are you not seeing... Oh, shit!
Different person than I used to be. And now a lot of these people are trying to bring up my past, like things from...
Oh, whoa. Hold up. Excuse me? I'm sorry? What, I mean, that was a pretty casual offhand mention of his past. I'm so glad I'm not Christian. Yeah, me too, man. Welcome.
From 10 years
Blessed be.
ago, like, look,
Do what thou wilt. Whatever platitude you currently align with.
this is who he is, like...
So what he doesn't like. That was American cheese, by the way. I don't know if you guys enjoy Kraft singles, but I have a very guilty addiction to them. If you didn't know, my historical past, my career past is in cooking, typically in the chef space. I currently own a catering company. If you guys need dinner and live in the Portland area, hit me up. But the majority of my history has been cooking in professional kitchens. I'm not going to toot my own horn, but I've worked in some fancy places. And too often do I regress into the pit of white trash food, which I say with reverence. I am myself white trash, and so I see that as a term of endearment. I know most people don't, to which I apologize, but I don't know. Where do we want to take a walking tour through? New York? What? Give me a place. Give me a place. I gotta put up a new background. I don't want any of this space stuff anymore. Not that it's a problem. I don't mind it.
But it's nice to switch every once in a while, you know? Oh, here's like a long play of time-lapse Starscape. But I'll put this here so y'all can actually see it. On the vertical, it's not obstructing anything, but on the horizontal. I mean, does that make you not able to see it? No, I think it's still... I think it's still good. I got the phlegm, by the way. I still have the phlegm. I wish I didn't. Oh, lordy, lordy, I wish I didn't. I wish I could live without the phlegm. Can I hear an amen? Somebody. Saint Anthony of Bourdain. I miss you more every day. Ah, crap!
My character has been like completely smashed.
Huh. Right. So this man apparently has done some pretty wild things in his past. Wild and crazy stuff. What is this fucking weird ribbon on the bottom? Did you see that? That was weird. Right? So he got his past dredged up. Sounds like you fucked around and found out. Right? That's what it seems like. Is that am I misinterpreting that? I don't think so. The franchise owner is taking immediate action and the 2 employees involved are no longer with the business. Right. So they didn't do anything illegal. They didn't do anything. All they did was jeopardize the image of the franchise, which is an individual owner's, you know, shell corporation, essentially. So they didn't do anything wrong. In fact, they were exercising a right that they had, which is to refuse service. And these people recorded them, blew them up on social media, and then they got fired. So, if anything, who's actually getting canceled here? They lost their job. And have you ever heard of somebody in high school taking a job because they wanted it? I certainly didn't. In other words, why the fuck is the left still the dominant evil party on the on the fucking poll?
Smoothie King says the franchise owner took action and the 2 employees involved are no longer with the business. Both the franchise owner and Smoothie King corporate reached out to apologize. The local owner is...
They reached out to the family, to the husband and wife to apologize. And the local owner is also taking further action in enforcing mandatory retraining. For what? Because political party is not covered under marginalized classes. What would need to be retrained?
is also enforcing mandatory retraining for all employees that outlines its guest experience standards.
Oh, I get it. Don't make us look bad. There you go. Okay. That makes sense. Don't make us look bad.
Anything to you? They're changing their policies. They got rid of these people.
I mean, you know, that's good for them, but what about, you know, what about us now?
What do we get out of this? You got vindication. You got you had your beliefs confirmed. They got fired. They lost their jobs. Do you think they didn't need the money? Do you think they took the jobs because they loved fucking working in smoothie? They loved the smoothie industry so much? Or do you think maybe they're like helping out their family or something?
But our lives are literally changed. Our kids aren't even going to school right now because I'm scared for their safety.
So you took the paint, or you took some lipstick and you painted a target on your own head, and then you asked why you were being persecuted. Okay. That sounds like a you problem.
And we're just kind of sitting there thrown by the wayside.
He and his
Couldn't come up with any other examples as for how this affected your life? None? Feels like you had the chance. I'm sure they would have done, you know, another take, because this is just a remote. So, I mean, I don't feel like he's got a very strong case here, I guess is what I'm saying.
family just looking for safety, to wear what they want, and the freedom to...
The safety to wear what they want. The safety. The safety to wear what they want. Because they were denied a smoothie. Are you not understanding this?
express their political beliefs. Scott Walchek, Fox 2 News.
Okay, so yeah, that was local.
Nobody persecuted them or denied them freedoms for expressing their political beliefs. In fact, they exercised their rights to refuse service and were then accused of committing a fucking crime and lost their jobs.
Media coverage, because obviously no national media would have touched this story. You know, this was against a Trump supporter, Christian conservative, and this.
Oh! What was that? Hold on. Hold on, guys.
Local media coverage, because obviously no national media would have touched this story. You know, this was against a Trump supporter, Christian conservative.
Oh! What kind of conservative? Checkmate, Christians! Yeah! Get fucked! Technically speaking, filming a kid is not automatically illegal just because the parent didn't give consent. The real question is where they're at. The real legal question is where they're at. Where the parents are? Oh, the public. I get what you're saying. It pretty much has to be a place with approval, reasonable expectation of privacy to count legally. Unfortunately, depending on your viewpoint. Yeah, I mean, I don't know that they are under the age of 18. It's just what this guy is saying. I doubt it because I don't know. I don't think that they have all the information. I think that they're just guessing. And I think that a lot of people think that entry-level jobs are just for high schoolers and just kind of blanket term it. So I don't know. I don't know the legal precedent or whatever the legal is, but I don't think that they're actually high schoolers. Because I think in one of the subsequent tweets or something like that. Oh no, I think he says it. Let's see.
And this just wouldn't have fit their narrative. That said, what is happening to this family is pretty disgusting. You know, the fact that this guy can't even
get a smoothie in my Trump merchandise. You know, you go in someplace into a Smoothie King and you expect to be able to get a smoothie, even if you're wearing Trump merch. If you're covered head to toe in Trump merch, there's no reason you shouldn't be able to get a smoothie. You know, it's disgusting. It's disgusting. And a crime. Even though I don't know whether or not it's a crime, it's a crime.
Children to school because he's worried about their safety.
Right. He chose not to bring his kids to school. Performative? Maybe. If anything, you're only denying your kids an education, but slay on, King, I guess.
And now they're also receiving death threats?
Allegedly. No proof of this. Even though you could just screenshot your phone and perhaps, you know, use that in your news story. What? Oh, you deleted the messages? Oh, okay. Oh, shame. Damn. Okay. Man, if only you had evidence.
What did this couple do wrong? They went to a business that they always frequent.
Support a Nazi fascist wannabe dictator.
And then they were discriminated against. And now you have this former employee.
Nope. You're using a legal term incorrectly again.
Grifting off this whole incident because she's already raised over $4,000 in.
$4,000 is somehow a grift to you, Mr. 32K, which I assume gets you a pretty decent amount of ad revenue for the many different videos you post. 21 hours ago, already almost 250,000 views. I'm guessing he's getting paid pretty well. And it's interesting that he throws around the word grift so freely. Sound is kind of a different story, though, due to wiretapping, eavesdropping laws in some states. I think Oregon's a one-party state, which is kind of cool. I wish I had recorded the last conversation I had with my most recent boss. Would have been very interesting. But yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know how that applies to people under the age of 18. I kind of want fast food tonight. I've been eating tacos. Like, I was going to make tacos for a party, and we just ended up not needing the tacos, and so I ended up having, like, enough for, like, 60 fucking tacos. I've been eating so many tacos. Oh. I love them. They're so good. But I just want a burger or something, you know? Like, fuck.
GoFundMe donations and just growing your TikTok.
Or like a DiGiorno. You know, like an oven pizza, you know? Just something I can just put in, throw and forget. Set it and forget it. And then just fucking chow down on, you know? Get a pint of ice cream. Woo! Boy! That was meant to be so high-pitched, but I'm running out of voice, so... You gotta deal with it. You gotta settle for it.
Support of these retarded liberals.
Oh! Let's just wind it back so we can make sure that we heard that right.
They went to a business that they always frequent, and then they...
That they frequent? Then why is it just now that the employees are catching on to the affiliation of their politics? You'd think that it would be worn on their sleeve. Literally.
They were discriminated against. And now...
Legal term.
You have this former employee grifting off this whole incident because she's already raised over $4,000 in GoFundMe donations and just growing her TikTok with the support of these retarded liberals. And
yep. To your utter bemusement, apparently. Which, you know, go them. In the face of, you know, whatever slur he decided to use for an entire group of people? Like hundreds of millions of people. Apparently to him have impediments to their developmental health.
And what's even more infuriating is that this high schooler is still working.
So disgusting, infuriating, they couldn't get a smoothie. They were denied a smoothie.
At McDonald's. So she was working both jobs at Smoothie King and 4,000.
So what he's about to do, and I think this is hilarious, what he's about to do is he's about to frame somebody who needs to work two jobs just to make a living, who still has to go to high school, as patently evil. He's gonna do his best, but just listen, it does not work out for him. Just
employee grifting off this whole incident because she's already raised over $4,000 in GoFundMe donations and just growing her TikTok with the support of these retarded liberals. And what's even more infuriating is that this high schooler is still working at McDonald's. So she was working both jobs at Smoothie King and McDonald's and then ended up getting fired at Smoothie King, but still is working at McDonald's. Now think about this.
I mean, bravo for the effort. What a heroic leap you made. Trying to vilify a person for working two jobs and going to school at the same time is a big challenge, and he took a big swing, and it may have missed. I would call it a whiff. But he tried. He went for it. And really, that's all you can say about it. With any kind of confidence. That's about the amount. That's about the extent of it.
You as a conservative, knowing what you know about this woman, do you think you'd be okay with her handling your food? Like, these liberals, I don't trust them. As soon as they find out who you're a Trump supporter or MAGA, I would never trust them touching my food. Like, honestly, liberals really need to stop having politics consume their entire lives.
My guy, you've promised a 3-movie-a-day schedule, and again, probably have like live streams, shorts, like a whole platform that you're trying to do. What is it? What are you trying to sound like a hypocrite? Are you trying to sound stupid as fuck? Like what?
You're a Trump supporter or MAGA. I would never trust them touching my food. Like, honestly, liberals really...
You wouldn't trust a liberal handling your food. Service jobs account for about 82% of jobs overall. Most of those are food service, and most of the employees of food service tend to be either, creatives who just need a part-time job, career changers who just aren't sure, who tend to be more educated. So left-leaning groups of people, typically right-leaning groups of people, tend to be in jobs like construction, infrastructure, manufacturing, logistics industries, like real blue-collar jobs, like hey Tony, like that kind of guy, beefy men and ladies and everything in between. Also, another devil's advocate thing is that different jurisdictions do technically protect political affiliation and ideology in certain settings, including public accommodation. Well, I didn't know about that. But not smoothie shops, one could say.
need to stop having politics consume their entire...
And so the majority of people who handle your food are going to either be left-leaning or immigrants. Just by sheer nature of the ecology that we're in, like the way that our environment forces us into certain industries based on our socioeconomic groups. So it's weird. It's just like the weirdest thing to ever be squeamish about a leftist handling your food, because that's just how it's been your entire life. So weird. Like in DC, for example, political affiliate, well, because it's a political center. Seattle also has human rights rules that define political ideology as a protected category. Ow, what a bunch of anti-discrimination stuff. Owie, my back. My back and my crack.
entire lives, because this is a one-sided issue. You never hear stories of conservatives or Trump supporters ever assaulting someone over a Biden hat or Kamala hat.
I like that you got real specific with it, because if you'd stopped there, if you'd stopped at, I've never seen a person on the right attacking a liberal, then you would have been wrong.
Assaulting someone over a Biden hat or Kamala hat.
But those don't exist. Like, I'm sure they do. I'm sure they do. Everyone has merch. But people don't wear them en masse. People tend to be able to say what they don't like about their political leaders. It's cultists that refuse doing that. It's an interesting take, I guess.
Or refusing service to them. Never hear it. It's just a one-sided issue. And these idiots always talk about how they have so much empathy and tolerance for other people. Yeah, only when you have the same political ideology as them.
I mean, you kind of answered your own concern there. Like, I mean, yeah, typically people do support people that have the same ideology, because if you believe that trans people, for instance, if you believe that they shouldn't exist, then they're probably not going to like you or want to have anything to do with you because of your political affiliation, because those are the policies that you support. So yeah, exactly. Yeah. Fucking weirdo. Even black people are fatigued, guys. Even black people.
Hey,
you know,
up, guys?
The famously unflappable, always laughing and making jokes. Even black people get fatigued by their own. That's the title of this video. Even black people. Even them? We've already got to the blacks?
So, do you guys ever
shit.
wonder how regular black folks feel when someone in
Do go on.
their own community starts acting up in public? Like there's that word, that's been tossed around the past couple years, ghetto fatigue.
I don't think that you're New York enough to be able to use any of these terms.
Well, most people call it black, but I'm going to call it ghetto because
Oh, because you're actively racist. I get
calling
it.
it black fatigue, I think it's not a fair representation for the majority of the people in that community because
there's a few good ones.
it's not the majority. It's a small
because there's a few good ones.
Subgroup.
Subhuman. You really wanted to say that.
Still pretty large, but I wouldn't say it's a majority or anywhere near it.
Because you have to diminish the majority of people who believe that racism is wrong. You have to diminish that in order to make anything you say sound safe to you, to sound comfy.
But that said, I want you to take a look at this video here because this is one of the very few videos I've seen online where you can see regular black folk.
Is this man AI? What do you think? Is there any way that could be true? How are you putting out 3 videos a day? You must have a team of researchers.
Looking very fatigued by their very own. Take a look.
Hmm.
By the way, this is at an HBCU football game.
Can I back that ass up? Back that ass up. Back that ass up.
I mean, to be completely fair, it looks like everybody's exhausted at this person's behavior. They could have just been an obnoxious person. But because you see that it's a pack of black people interacting with each other, this is somehow a endemic problem to blacks? Right. So I think she's purposefully being embarrassing. Because her kids are right there. And she seems to be reveling in their discomfort. So she's being a embarrassing mom. The R word is interesting. It's broadly regarded as a slur, but I never heard it on the West Coast. But on the East Coast, I've heard quite a few times in the last several months. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it was ever fun to hear someone, like anyone say, you could be like, you're a radicchio. But if kids join in on it, and they all mean it in what appears to be like a derogatory way, then they're going to take that and internalize it, and then they're going to be upset at the word radicchio for the rest of their life. But people, like, what is there was like those phrenologists who like tried to use that umbrella term to like take certain mental illnesses and like institutionalize them. I don't remember, but there was some advocacy that brought it into the cultural zeitgeist as a slur. And I don't remember the lore behind that, but I'm pretty sure that's what happened.
Did she just yell, "Mom"? Yo, look at her kids. They're like used to this behavior.
Which would lend credibility to the idea that maybe she's just trying to be obnoxious and annoying. Like maybe she's just flamboyant type of person. And this is how she gets her jollies. Like you get your jollies making 3 videos a day being racist.
Look at the little girl. She's like, oh my God, this is so embarrassing. Yeah, the mom's wearing a mask. I can't even tell how old she is. But again, this is at an HBCU football game, so the entire crowd's going to be pretty much predominantly black. But yeah, like just dancing is fine.
What is HBCU? Like, what is that? What does that mean? Which Huntington Beach, California? What? No, browser good. Well, we just gotta find a new one. Guys, come on, give me an idea. Oh, Marine Parade Central? Oh, here we go. Here we go, guys. Fursona Parade. You guys, I think that's good, right? It's a lovely crowd. We've got nerds, we've got weebs, we've got furries, we've got scalies, we've got everything in between and all the fursuits that you could ever want. It's the Fursuit Parade of 2023. It looks like Anthrocon. Enjoy. Jesus! Why is my phone? My phone has been vibrating. I told my wife, I don't think there's an emergency. But I told my wife to only, like, because I use my phone for the camera, and so it'll just start vibrating. Because she texts a lot. She's a texter. A sext-mexter. If you're familiar with Parks and Rec. I know that sound kind of random.
You know, I don't see any harm in that, but then when you start twerking, I don't know.
So shaking your butt, as any nerdy dad would be doing, who loves embarrassing their kids, shaking your butt is inherently wrong, according to this man. He doesn't like dancing either. I think he's got an agenda, and it's against dancing. He doesn't like jolliness. He doesn't like frivolity. All right? So if you're trying to have fun, don't you fucking let this guy know.
Especially with your kids there.
Yeah, people often bring their fucking families to sports games. Jesus.
This is the second time that we've been in sync.
Yo, did you see this guy's reaction? Take a look.
Yeah, because it's embarrassing. I would be embarrassed to be younger than her, like, watching her do that and see her do that in front of her kids. I'd get secondhand embarrassment, of course. But this is not a black problem. This is not black fatigue. Why are you just pulling random videos from the internet and going like, oh man, you can tell these black people, these few good ones are really tired of this really embarrassing Al Jolson style Music Man caricature. It's crazy. The good ones are really, really just tired of all this performative activities. You know, can you believe she twerked in front of her kids? Can you believe she twerked? Gross. Black people, gross. Just straight up, like, just straight up racist. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Looks like it's just a person having fun.
You could tell this woman here is not having it.
Does it look like anybody's attacking her? Does it look like anybody's like trying to read her the riot act for fucking having fun and embarrassing her kids? Like, holy shit. It does kind of feel like Christians, as well as the right, tends to just look at people having fun and go like, that's not okay. I'm not going to allow that. How fucking dare you try to have fun?
Keeps looking back with a disgusted look on her face.
So conservatives exist across all spectrums. So it's weird to say that this is somehow black fatigue. This could have been a white person having an exchange with another white person saying, please don't shake your butt in my child's face. She's the one sexualizing it. I don't think that it's really that big a deal. She's shaking her butt in everybody's face who's around her. It's not inherently wrong. She's dancing to a song that she seems to like.
I'm sorry, y'all. I was already recording.
She just seems to think that it's improper for a woman to be quote unquote, shaking her butt in her child's face. I understand that, I guess. If I was a parent and I was conservative and I didn't really like, if I was needlessly sexualizing this dance and saying that it's improper or impure for my child to be exposed to it, I would understand that, you know? I don't happen to have that background, but I'm trying to put myself in the other person's shoes here. That's called empathy.
So that woman was getting upset because the lady dancing was shaking her butt in her daughter's face right beside her.
I mean, kids are more ruthless than we are. If anything, they're going to be way more harsh on this person than any, like, adult's going to be. I mean, that's just plain and simple. Like, they talk shit like crazy. And they're ruthless. They're ruthless.
Look at these kids here.
My friend's 9-year-old daughter came to visit obviously with my wife's friend. And she just laid into me, like calling me fucking old and like referring to me only as old man. Kids are evil. They could get real messed up. And you should have heard the shit that her friend was saying on the phone to her. Like, some crazy shit. Like, oh. Kids, man. Fuck. They're ruthless.
Oh my God. This is crazy.
I got water in my nose.
Like, you got two adorable kids. The one on the right.
What? Why are you commenting on their appearance, dude? What the fuck?
She looks innocent. She doesn't know what's going
Maybe he's a parent and he's just really sentimental.
on. She has no, this is probably her first time.
Why are you staring at this little girl talking about how pretty she is?
Seeing something like this. But the one on the left, you could tell she's seen stuff like this before. Look how disgusted she looks. Look at the mother's face too.
Okay, move on.
Oh my God. This picture just tells you how exhausted, how fatigued this, family. Wow.
That is called projecting. You're projecting your emotions onto them.
That is crazy.
You see rolling her eyes. That is exactly the fucking face. That is exactly what that's what they're all feeling right there. They're like, Jesus fucking Christ, Mom, can you fucking stop, please? Please. Can you just stop? Just sit down. But somehow this is societal. Somehow this is, I guess, a black problem now. Man, people dancing. You people really need to, you good ones, the few good ones out there, you really need to rein in your people, okay? Your own, I guess, is what is. Even black people get fatigued by their own is the title of this video. Kind of tells you all you need to know, doesn't it? Like, what is the point of him reacting to this? He clearly downloaded it. Because he's playing it on, like, an Apple, like a... It's on, like, iMovie or whatever, like the QuickTime, sorry.
Okay, so honestly, this wasn't even the craziest on a 1 to 10 ghetto fatigue scale, but it was just funny.
So you're even admitting that it wasn't a problem.
Watching other regular black folks being
So instead, what you're saying is that you found it really cool, or, well, I guess if we were to speak altruistically, you're saying that it's good that the few good ones seemed about as tired of the black antics that I've been seeing as I am. But in the worst case scenario, you're really just trying to visit animals in a zoo and then assess that their behavior means whatever emotions that you're so you're personifying that, or anthropomorphizing these, to you, subhuman people, because you wanted to say subhuman earlier. You heard it just as much as I did. Cool. Cool. I went to the dispensary on my lunch and got 7 grams of Full Throttle for $70. I hope it sends you to the moon. And then gives you enough fuel to make it back. God damn.
Exhausted, fatigued by this type of behavior. Anyways, I want you to take a look at this clip here of this young black fella because he actually explains this whole thing perfectly to a T. Take a look.
Nobody wants to live around niggas. Black people don't want to live around.
Why would you censor that?
White people don't want to live around niggas. Hispanics don't want to live around niggas. Asians don't want to live around niggas. No one wants to live around niggas. Niggas carry themselves with a complete lack of empathy for anybody else. They don't care about anybody else's time. They don't respect other people's businesses.
Crazy recreational tax. That would be, like, insane. Grams? Like... $10 per gram? Not too bad? I guess it's like $8 for the green sticker of most places here. Yeah, but still, like, maybe I'm spoiled at this point. I get an ounce for $30. I think so. I assume he's talking flour. I'm not entirely sure. Skippy's gonna have to answer that one for you. Even if we were to assume that that this guy is doing these posts in good faith, we would not want to just take the word of one person. First of all, but
they look at the world,
we'll let it continue,
and they just laugh at everything. They think shit is fun.
But you have to define what you mean when you say that. So, okay. Skippy, I'll answer your question. But I have to preface this with saying that what I'm about to show on camera is neither meant to support nor encourage the use of Schedule 1 substances. I am a professional, licensed, and this is purely for educational purposes. That is the quality. It is not bad stuff. See, quite trichome laden, and it smells like what it is. There you go. The proceeding was purely for educational purposes. I am a professional. Do not try any illegal substances. I would never support nor encourage the use of any such things. But yeah. So yeah, that's what $30 for an ounce gets you. And I don't know how to demonstrate the quality of the shakeability, you know, but you could probably hear it. It's dry. It's very crispy. Very crispy. And like a soft dinner bun, like a soft dinner roll. 27%? How?
Funny. They grew up without a positive male role model in their life.
Oh, right. So he's talking about a very specific subset of a very specific type of cultural demographic within his own community. That's what he's saying. This person thinks that it's the majority of people that are the bad ones, and he says it's the minority, but you know what he really believes.
They don't give a about the black community. That's the last thing they give a about. Because I'll tell you what, you line up a black person in front of and a white person, they're not going to want to do that time for killing that white person. They're much more likely to kill that black person.
What? What's the rationale? In every scenario, are we killing somebody? So you put a person in front of another person and the... What?
It's interesting because a white person is much more likely to be killed by than is to be killed by a white person.
Come on. Historically untrue.
And they overrepresent black people.
Oh, we're using the per capita. We're using the per capita argument again. Okay. I get it. I mean, not the least of all, the reason that we don't do that is because it's very easy to twist those numbers to demonize specific communities. So we would look at national statistical averages, including rural areas. Because go fuck yourselves.
Quite often, because...
Yeah, we'll just do a couple more videos of this guy. I really want to get a thorough picture of whether we can consider this person evil or not.
Look at the stats with the 13% of the population, half the crime. Is it that full 13%? Obviously not. So they say 13%, and it's because of bro. It's because have done so much harm on such a big, wildly disproportionate level that it's like hard to even tell anymore. Because we have so many niggas running around, and nobody wants to live around niggas, bro. Whenever you...
So I think what he's saying is quote-unquote ghetto people. So he's talking about non-affluent, mostly impoverished members of the black community, I believe is what he's specifically talking about when he says the N-word. So I gotta log into Discord. I assume you were talking about Discord. I don't know. That's not my password. I use too many passwords. I'm too technologically advanced for myself. 90 for 7. God damn, man. Oil tanker. Ethernet. Ugh. I'm not a big fan of sativa dominant stuff. And I'm not a big fan of the fact that it's all just fucking blends now. I mean, I get it. I understand, you know. You gotta make it new and unique to stay competitive.
Move into the area.
Especially if your career is essentially dead because drug dealing is no longer a lucrative venture anymore.
You sure showed them.
Okay, so honestly, I like how this kid made the distinction between
one of the good ones. He's one of the good ones, guys.
Regular black folks and ninjas, we'll call them. Because there clearly needs to be a distinction. And time again, you know, I'm guilty of it. We associate the entire community.
Right. Instead of trying to use a slur in order to indicate the message that you're trying to convey, perhaps you could just describe the type of fucking person that you're talking about. Without using the word black, hopefully, ideally. But you could just say impoverished criminal elements who grow up without father figures. Most people are going to know you mean black kids. Like in the suburbs of Chicago and whatnot. But at least you'll be trying. You know, at least you'll be trying to not sound unnecessarily biased. You don't necessarily, I mean, you don't really need to like differentiate between regular black folks
with this small
and those other ones,
which is not fair, to be honest. But I just feel that this subgroup just has a hard time transitioning into regular society because, you know, I can understand.
From what? From what outer realm of civilization are they supposed to be integrating from?
them acting the way they do to survive in their neighborhood, but trying to bring them into transition to regular society, everyday life, whether it be on the subway or at a restaurant, they just have a hard time transitioning. And it's just
From what? That's a shop that was near you? God damn, dude. I wouldn't smoke weed anymore. If I quit my, one of my most important medications simply because it went up in price, there's no fucking way I'm paying more for weed, okay? No fucking way.
it's crazy because it affects every other group. That said, I don't know if this side is really repairable. Like, I don't know if they could ever properly transition into everyday society, because just some of the stuff you see is just crazy on social media. I don't know. Anyways, guys.
So the only example he gave was a mother hilariously embarrassing her kids, and that somehow is like the downfall of the black community and is resulting in all this ghetto fatigue. What the fuck? I feel like we're putting points in the evil category. And he likes Christians. He's a big fan of them. Next video.
Hey, what's up, guys? So, do you guys recall sometime last year, President Trump signed that executive order that was going to designate Antifa as a domestic terrorist organization? But
who are its leaders? Who organizes Antifa? Oh, it's just a concept. It's like a nebulous concept that falls under a bunch of different definitions of anti-fascism movements. Okay. Good luck enforcing that.
But basically, that executive order had no teeth because under U.S. law, there's no formal process or authority for the president to designate domestic groups or individuals as terrorist organizations. And this really pissed me off because I really want to see Antifa burn. If there's one group I hate the most in the country, it's Antifa. Like, I've just seen so many.
Well, one could argue that it's probably all the smaller groups inside Antifa, right? So, like, any marginalized group. So, black people, trans people, gay people. Antifa is just the name of a particular movement. It's just the name of a mass conflux of different ideologies coming together and forming a collective movement that is made up of a bunch of different groups of individuals and individuals themselves. So no, you can't classify nebulous like particle clouds into like, and I mean, I'm just identifying the whole group as like a particle cloud. They have no organized affiliation. They are not some hive mind like Christians believe that atheists are. They don't have a Bible. They don't have an organizer. There is no supreme leader of Antifa.
Countless videos of these guys traveling in huge packs, and especially when they're outnumbering the opposition, these guys get just so...
Doesn't that speak to you, though? Doesn't the fact that there's more Antifa than there are MAGA counter-protesters or protesters or whatever, doesn't that say something? Shouldn't that affect how you view these people? Wouldn't that say that progressive policies are more popular because more people would protest against what they see as a fascist regime? I mean, it feels like it's all being mapped out for you right there. As we see a wonderful red-banded raccoon say hello to the screen. It's unnerving. I'm still uncomfortable by the furry community, but I'm trying to learn. It's just such a wild time investment in and investment and monetary investment to buy a full goddamn some people live in their fursona. Much respect, man, for people to be able to do that without the amount of embarrassment that I would feel. I haven't wrapped my head around it yet, I guess.
Violated. You know, I remember that clip of Nick Swartler last year in Portland, where he was by himself against 20 Antifa thugs and stuff like that.
I'm sorry? Where he was running away and successfully escaped from Antifa thugs? And it's not like Nick Sortor says anything inflammatory or inciting. Totally. Totally not at all. Never. Never would he ever. Perish the thought. Pretty much all the people that make a living posting on Twitter are just America-loving patriots. You know, how dare you try to define it as something, you know, Nazi adjacent? How fucking dare you? How fucking dare you? Why would you do that? Why would you generalize like that?
Just really pissed me off. And we all know
Yeah, I'm
who's
sure it
one
did.
of the major funders of these organizations.
George
It's
Soros.
But there's actually another person that's been, on the radar of
The Rothschilds.
the U.S. government. And I want you to take a look at this clip here of the PBD podcast because it exposes a new financier who's been, sowing all this chaos in the U.S. Take
The
a look.
Rothschilds.
Yeah, this is a clip, but read specifically that bottom line.
Zoom in a little bit, Rob?
I actually
The
talked to the DOJ
Rothschilds.
about Never Word Singham. He's an interesting cat. He's probably one of the worst of the worst. He's like, there's George Soros and then there's Never Word Singham.
Really?
Yeah, Singham, again, he was the one funding those LA ICE riots. He's tied to the Armed Queers of Salt Lake City, who's also tied to Cuban Terror Network.
You always gotta lie. Why? What? It takes only a few conspiracy theorists to tie these things together, right? You look at PAC donations and you look at donation histories from like lobbyist groups, which again should really, I guess, put you into more of a fuck corporation mindset, but I guess not. You take a look at funding histories, you take a look at voting records, and then you try to tie all these things together. It's just so funny, like, how it takes that much bending over backwards in order to validate some conspiratorial claim that nobody can seem to substantiate. Have you tried shutting the fuck up? Is that a valid strategy?
But he was also named in this
Patrick
as
Bet-David?
funding writing. And so what they're doing is, the guy, Singham, by the way, refused to respond to congressional inquiry into
Oh, that means he's guilty. If he refuses to respond to something. How many days has it been since Jim Jordan was subpoenaed by the Oversight Committee? Are we still ongoing? Because I believe he has not yet testified. And he's been subpoenaed. It is illegal to declare war without the aid of Congress. And Donald Trump has now invaded 2 countries. Even himself saying that it's war.
funding of these riots. So we wrote a letter to the
I'm just saying, Christians, you can disavow him. If you really wanted to. You could say, we as Christians don't support Donald Trump. I don't hear a lot of them saying that, though.
Secretary of Treasury to freeze his assets. And the DOJ
Oh, yeah, I've seen this guy. Oh, I've seen this. We invited him to the podcast.
Oh, well, if you
Just
get him in
last week.
town, let me know because we're going to come arrest him. Did you really invite him?
That last week, Rob.
Oh,
last
man.
week we invited
He's
him on the
like-
podcast.
Man,
This is the
he's
guy we
like,
invited just literally a
I would
week
send you a
ago.
list of questions, but let me know because he seriously has been refusing to respond to Congress for testimony.
Well, where's he based out of?
China. He's from LA, but he also spends a majority of his time in China.
Oh. So he's a corporate leader. He's like a CEO or something. And because he spends some time in China, that makes him... And he has a donation history for like left-leaning organizations, but I guarantee you he probably has a lot of donation history with right-leaning organizations too. I mean, that just feels stupid. It feels like just a stupid conspiracy theory.
I know that he made his money directly getting help and funding from the CCP. And I also know that the guy...
So does that mean that anybody who gets funding through like government grants is somehow like working for the government? Like you're now a sleeper cell for communist rhetoric or agendas, and you're going to spread it throughout America or through China? Wait, this was reversing the rules. I don't remember. Now I've overcomplicated things. Yes, he is. Indeed, he is, Skippy. I agree with you.
Guy's a devout, like as bad as it gets, straight up shill for the Communist Chinese Party. Yeah, so like they take these groups, right? Like let's say
Like you all aren't shills. Come on.
he's funding different organizations that are splitting Americans specifically on ICE using the Hispanic demographic, right? Then they're also at the same time
Well, that was gobbledygook. That didn't mean anything.
funding organizations that are pitting Americans on the Palestine versus Israel issue. So it's only benefiting and coming though from one country, and that's China.
Honestly, this sounds like treason to me. Like this guy's working with the CC.
Oh man. So, you know, I guess having a company that deals with foreign nations apparently is, I guess, treason, according to this man.
To sow division in America, and this is
No. Not typically. At least not in Soros' case. Soros just donates to everybody. And somehow that means he's like pulling the strings. I don't think he gives a shit, to be quite honest. I would assume George Soros is like dead or very close to it. And probably doesn't give a fuck about most things. Eggs! And then his like, you know, many housekeepers, they go and like, does he want eggs? Is he just saying eggs? Does he I don't know. Like what exactly did it mean? And then they just got to interpret it. And then they're like, okay, well, let's give him some eggs and see if that shuts him up. Eggs! That's probably what Soros is like, exactly. It's probably word for word exactly what he's like right now. Specifically, word for word, exactly 100%. That's what Soros is like right now. Eggs! Sorry. I have a continuing sinus infection for like the last number of months, so I'm still trying to get over it. Which means you may see me blow my nose. Ugh. I think, are you farting in here? I think there's a stink coming directly from the pups. I have a feeling she's farting. She's a known farter. Sorry, let's let this play.
what, supposed to benefit China? I don't care if he's living in China. Find a way to extradite his ass. Like, this is bullshit. Like, this is what I'm sick of this administration. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to go on a rant here because when are we going to start seeing some rest? We've known George Soros was financing Antifa and all
Maybe
these other
because it's
groups,
not true.
these protesters. Now we know about this guy, Neville Roy Singham. When are we going to start seeing some arrests? Because I'm getting sick and tired of this stuff. I'm also, pissed off about January 6th committee, Russia collusion hoax, all this stuff. I want to start seeing some rest. Like, when is Pam Bunny going to start doing something? This is like really frustrating.
It's almost like she doesn't have any legal power to do anything. Because there was Russian collusion, and because what was the other thing he said? What was the other thing he said?
Because I'm getting sick and tired of this stuff. I'm also, pissed off about January 6th committee.
January 6th committee, yeah. Because they did the thing that they were accused of. It took Donald Trump pardoning them to fix that. Again, this feels so dishonest. It just feels strangely dishonest. For some reason, Isn't that strange?
Collusion hoax, all this stuff. I want to start seeing some rest. Like, when is Pam Bunny going to start doing something? Because this is like really frustrating me. Anyways, I'm going to play you a few clips here of Antifa members effing around and finding out. For this first one here, this brain dead idiot tried to burn an American flag and in the process almost burned himself alive. Take a look.
Oh, what an idiot.
What a disrespectful thing to do. Like,
my dude, what are you doing with your life? That's what you watched for entertainment? That's nothing.
Burning the American flag, especially on U.S. soil. Like, that is...
freedom of speech, First Amendment right.
It's just so disrespectful. And it's just crazy how there is no law against that. Yes, I understand that the Constitution is Constitution, but
oh man, that's really nice of him to say. That's a good sentiment to share. The Constitution is the Constitution. You heard it. What more do you need? What more do you have to say? What more do you need to say? What more is there? I think that's, the Constitution is the Constitution, but
in every country, like pretty much every country around the world, there are laws. There is prison time.
Pretty much every country in the world, there are laws. Insightful.
If you burn their flag, the only countries I think are just the U.S., Canada, Denmark, Australia, but every other country, China.
What? So you mean regimes that are by nature already going to enforce nationalistic policies? Countries where it is illegal to burn the flag. Let's see. Germany, France, Italy, Poland. No fascist governments in Germany ever. France, okay, that one's weird to me. Italy, totally no fascist governments at any point in there. Poland, Latvia, Lithuania, and Estonia. So Slavic countries who have been under turmoil for however long. Asia, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 countries. Middle East, 1, 2, 3 countries. Latin America, 3 countries. Russia. Certainly not every other country. So already false. But it seems to be in religious places, like religious countries where they already have laws that outline certain types of nationalism. I mean, it appears to be like the large majority of landmass on the earth, but certainly not the majority of countries.
Has a 3-year imprisonment. Russia, 1 year. France, there's fines and public degradation. Germany, Italy, Poland.
Public degradation? What does it even mean? Severe multifaceted issues including systemic neglect. No, it's just the degradation of actual society in France. I'm not actually seeing any punishment that aligns with. I'm assuming that he's talking about something like what happened in Game of Thrones, where it's like the shame thing,
Latvia, 2 to 3
But that doesn't
years
exist.
prison. South Korea, India, Indonesia, Philippines, Singapore, Thailand. Multi-year prison time.
No, that's not what it said. From what I remember, it was a fine, it looked like.
But in the U.S., you can get away with it, which is crazy. Anyways.
Yeah, because we're more free than the rest of the world, you asshole.
Take a look at this next clip here, because this
That's a
Antifa
freedom.
leader decided during a protest, there was a Trump supporter there, and he had a Trump flag, or I believe a pro-ICE flag or a Trump flag, and he was just waving it in the air, and this guy comes up from behind.
Oh, sure. Totally not an instigation or incitement. Absolutely not. Totally. There's no chance. Not any chance whatsoever. Of course not. Of course not.
And decides to snatch it and take off. But look at what the Trump supporter did, because he chased the shit out of that guy and got his flag back. Take a look.
Chased the shit out of that guy. Right. So hoping to get a rise out of the crowd, and then did. He achieved his goal. Congratulations. I don't know if that means anything for society.
Where you going?
That would be assault right there, I believe. I don't think you get to put hands on someone just because they take something from you. Maybe to restrain, but I don't think you get to throw them to the ground.
Give it back.
Do you check my...
Honestly,
I wonder why it cuts off there. The world is pretty sick. Yeah, it's not going to take Christianity to fix it.
like, I wish this guy would have given him a couple shots. Like, yo, you're gonna steal my flag?
You wish that he would have punched him. Wishing physical violence on someone just because they have a disagreement with you? Like, he took his flag, so? You gonna cry about it?
You're not gonna get away that easy. But the funny, look at how much of a head start this guy had. This guy had he was 10.
Oh, now we're gonna break down how the guy is more physically fit than the guy who stole his flag. What a very skillful own, my friend. So owned. The libs are just quivering in their boots.
Steps ahead, and he still got caught. Look how much of a lead. Liberals are the most unathletic people. Like,
you're talking about a group that comprises half of 370 million people, and you're thinking that they're all one way. That's insane. It's insane to think that one group is just one way. That an entire fucking group of people is just one way. That's weird.
Oh my God. You had this much of a lead, and you still couldn't get away. Like, this guy literally chased.
This is the best he can come up with. Oh, you stole my flag. Oh. What an unathletic leftist.
Puts him down. And he's doing this while holding a camera, trying to film this.
A fucking GoPro on his forehead. Fuck yourself.
Yeah, I would have given a couple head. Like, you take my shit like that. You're not.
You take a piece of fabric from me that I'm waving in front of people that I'm actively trying to demonize, and I'm gonna pop you. I'm gonna pop you a few times, is what he's saying.
Not getting away that easy.
I like Goose. He's my favorite Christian on YouTube. In that I'm not Christian?
Easy. Like, that is crazy. Especially if you make me run like that. Like, making me run.
You just described the left as the most unathletic side of the aisle, which is a weird thing to say in the first place, and now you're just admitting that you're unathletic? Where's the consistency?
Couple 100 meters just to chase your stupid ass for stealing my shit. I'm not putting up with that. Anyways, guys, I want to show you this video, another feel-good story video, because you're actually seeing a small turnaround at schools. You know, a lot of these schools are doing these walkouts, anti-ICE protests, but now there are some schools where those students who are out there protesting,
where students are doing anti-ICE protests. That's right. It's almost like people are all different shapes and sizes and ages and have all kinds of different opinions. This just in, news at a fucking 11.
Are just getting booed. Take a look.
USA, USA.
Right, so counter protesting. Okay. Do I need to point out the demographic that we're seeing here? Young white men?
Okay, so I'm pretty sure that school was somewhere in Bucks County, Pennsylvania, if I recall. But anyways, it's such a nice sight to see. You know, actually students.
So when someone's protesting people being kidnapped in the streets and innocent people being murdered and being booed, you revel in that. That's what you like to see.
Young ones actually supporting the country and calling out this stupid behavior, these leftists, these anti-ICE protesters, because, you know, we've been seeing it all.
Because protest totally isn't a cornerstone of our democracy. Of course not. Only loser leftists protest, okay, guys? Let's not get it twisted. Don't be losers. Right? So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go eat something. I'm going to go let my dogs out. I'm going to take them on a walk, maybe. Who knows? I don't know. I'm going to take a couple-hour break, is what I'm saying. We're going to cut the stream off here, and then when we get back, we're going to talk about the quartering. I may not come back tonight, but if I am relegated to coming back tomorrow morning, we're going to talk about the quartering. He's been somebody that's been on my radar for a long time. 10 years now, probably. And he only recently started doing this Christian grift. So I just wanted to like explore some of his more recent content and see if we can figure out at what point he kind of started going on this little tear against the woke lefty atheism sector. So we'll take a look at that. I think it'll be tonight. I'm thinking that I'm not going to feel too tired tonight. I got a good amount of sleep last night, so we'll see what happens. If not, maybe I'll just play some chill video games, and then we'll still do an evening stream. Why not? I'm probably going to be a little tipsy, and maybe continuing to get more. Who knows? Join us, won't you? Look for me around 5. All right, let's put a time on it. Look for me around 5 PST, Pacific Standard Time, if you will. And if I'm not around, I'll be around tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. I don't know why I keep saying that, because I'm always late. Either way, thank you guys for sticking around. I really appreciate it. If you haven't already, weigh in on the poll. We had 28 votes, and Christianity finally is evil equal to the left for some stupid reason. But, weigh in. Tell your friends. Tell your friends, I guess.